Hello everyone. Today is Sunday. And today is a lovely sunny day, but it is not hot out, but it is extremely humid. Oh my goodness, really humid. But anyways, I hope that everybody is going to have a wonderful day, and I hope that you'll want to stick around for a little bit of my day because, yeah, I have something yummy that I'm planning on making. So I hope you'll join me. Well, today I want to make a recipe called chicken Parmesan foil packets, and they're for you to put on the grill. And my daughter-in-law Kelly shared this with me, and I thought this really sounds good. So yeah, it's a good way for you to use some of that zucchini that you might have growing in your backyard too. So anyways, what it basically takes is, this calls for 4 chicken breasts, so because it's making 4 packets, I'm only making 2 packets. But it's 4 chicken breasts, 3 cups of pasta sauce, 2 zucchini that have been sliced, a half a cup of Parmesan cheese shredded, a half a cup of mozzarella cheese shredded, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, salt and pepper to taste, some olive oil, parsley, and some spaghetti that you've cooked on the stove. So anyways, I thought, you know what? This just really sounds good. It says that we are to spray our foil with some cooking spray first. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then what it tells us to do is we are going to divide the zucchini over our foil. So I only cut up 1 zucchini because, yeah, I'm only making 2 packets. And then we are to sprinkle this with salt and pepper. And then it says that we are to take our Italian seasoning and put it on top, as well as the Parmesan cheese. So, and it says really it's to taste, so I guess it just depends on how much seasoning you want to include with yours. Now I do have a little bit of shredded Parmesan, but I don't have much, so I'm also going to be using the regular powdered because that's all I have. It's about 1 tablespoon for each, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this also. I can't imagine it being that big of a difference. Okay, and then it says that we are to add 1/3 cup of our pasta sauce on top of the zucchini. And then we are to take our chicken breast and put it on top of the sauce. We're to drizzle each chicken breast with a little bit of olive oil and then sprinkle with some garlic powder and some more of our Italian seasoning. And now all we're going to do is seal the foil and place it on a medium heat setting on your grill and grill for 8 minutes, and then flip it over and grill for another 8 to 10 minutes. And it says that the chicken needs to reach to at least 165 degrees. So I will go ahead and get this on, and yeah, I'll show you what it looks like when it's all cooked. Well, according to our directions, we are to slice this very carefully with a knife because the steam that's inside could burn. And just open it up a little bit. And that's what it looks like. And now we are to add our mozzarella cheese. Now again, I didn't have the shredded, but I did have slices. So that's what I'm going to be using. I'm just going to put on a couple slices of mozzarella cheese. And this is to go back onto the grill for another 2 to 3 minutes with the pan this time. And let this melt in. You just put it back on the grill and then just shut the lid and let that melt. So yeah, I'll take it back out and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Now, while that was cooking, I had warmed up the rest of the pasta sauce and I cooked up some spaghetti. So I'm going to go back outside. I'm going to bring that in and yeah, I'll show you what that looks like on the plate. Hope you enjoyed this and I'll talk to you in just a little bit. For today's devotion, we will be reading from 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 12. Therefore, let anyone who thinks that he stands take heed lest he fall. Recently, I read a story that Chuck Swindoll wrote about, and he wrote that when he was a little boy, they used to have their family vacations down at his grandfather's cottage in Kanakawa Bay in Texas. That it was a sleepy little spot that always smelled like shrimp, and that his granddad was the most influential adult in his life growing up. And one day, his granddad told him that he wanted to explain something to him, and that he used a word that as a young fellow, he had never heard before. The word was erosion. Well, the bank that dropped off into the bay was continually being eaten away by the pounding waves, the storms, and the rainy weather. So they had walked over to the edge and they measured a certain distance from that point to where the bank dropped off down to the water. Then his granddad drove a stake into the ground, telling him that next summer, when he comes back, that they will measure this again. Well, when he returned the following summer, he and his granddad went back to that bank near the water, and they saw that 8 inches was now gone from the bank. From all the constant pounding of the waves due to the storms, and even just through the natural waves. Chuck Swindoll explained that they would never have noticed that it had even eroded if they had never have measured it. And the lesson that he learned from that was that no one who has fallen morally sat at the side of their bed one morning and thought, let's see now, how can I ruin my life? How can I implode my reputation? Erosion doesn't happen like that, nor does compromise in our lives. It's always silent, it's always slow, and it's always subtle. But its final blow is always severe. Paul's words to the Corinthians should caution us, as well as challenge us. As today's scripture says, let him who thinks he stands take heed that he does not fall. But then in the next verse, verse 13, it begins by saying, no temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. And to be quite honest, every day is a day that we could choose to compromise. Because as compromise, it's always done secretly, subtly, silently. Other people won't know about it, at least not right away. And it all starts with compromise. Show me a believer who is not living in close fellowship with God, and that is a person who is on their way to bigger problems. It's only a matter of time. The best antidote to compromise is a passionate love relationship with Jesus Christ, and one that is solidly committed to God's ways. The only way to do this is by actively growing in your relationship with the Lord, learning His truths and relying on His power to help you walk without compromise. And with that, I want to remind you, life happens. Let's enjoy it. So stay close to Jesus. Let the fire of your first love burn brightly, and you will be strong. That's not to say that you will be sin-free, but you will have the power and the resolve you need to live a life that pleases God. God bless, and I will talk to you tomorrow.